Glass Houses was recorded in the late 79 into 1980. I was accused of like copying the new wave sound at that point, or the punk thing. I actually liked the new wave stuff, and I liked some of the punk stuff. I wasn't trying to copy it, but I was trying to point out with a song that's on that album called Still Rock and Roll to me, is that, wait a minute, I've heard this kind of music before. We used to call it like garage rock. Like the Kingsmen did it with Louie Louie, or Question Mark and the Mysterians did it with 96 Tears. You'd had this basic rough and tumble kind of tracks, and that's what we were going for with the Glass Houses. I actually lived in a house that had a big plate glass window, and it's on the cover of the album. There's a picture of me throwing a rock through a window. I didn't actually do it, but it made for a good concept. In other words, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. We were rocking a lot harder. We were headlining arenas all the time, and these are the kind of songs that came off well live. It was a lot of fun. It's probably the most fun I'd had recording an album up to that date. You may be right. I wanted to write a rocker. That was on the Glass Houses album. There's a lot of rockers on that album. It was fun because I was finally getting a rock out. I had a really good band. We were playing in arenas where it sounded great. We had a really raucous audience. And I wanted to write a lot of rock and roll songs. You May Be Right was just about, being crazy. And, okay, so maybe I'm nuts. Maybe you're right. But maybe that's what you wanted in the first place. Essentially what the lyric is. But it's fun. Hang out with me because I'm nuts. Oh, I didn't want to do it, but I got too lonely. Okay, that was considered very risque when it came out in 1980. It's about phone sex, like all those hot and heavy phone calls. And some stations wouldn't play that recording. They wouldn't play it. It was too risky a subject. Just wanted a straight ahead rocker. Don't ask me why. It's not a literal song. It's figurative. It's a combination of experiences. Some of them when I was in Europe, some of them from New York. It's kind of a stream of consciousness commentary. The rhythm is Spanish, and there's a piano solo in the song. I don't do many piano solos in my stuff, but it was that kind of rhythm. It's sort of a spoof of those 1940s Jose Iturbi, Spanish movies. But I was just infatuated with that kind of rhythm at that time. I think I brought it back with me from Spain. I was in Madrid or something, and I want to write a song like that. The lyric is Still Rock and Roll. It's the same kind of music that I remember. This is it stylistically may be different, but it's essentially early rock and roll, and it's being rehashed. I know what this is. This is still rock and roll to me. That's one of those, the bass line carries a certain amount of what the song is. Sort of like Captain Jack goes. It's like it's not right in your face, but it's there in the background. I wanted to recapture the angst of a 16-year-old guy who had his heart just broken by a girl. And that kind of obsession thing that happened when you can't stop thinking about this girl. You've got to have this girl, but she doesn't want anything to do with you. And you're driving your parents crazy, and you're failing in school, and you're losing your friends, and everybody thinks you're out of your mind. That teenage obsession, which was all for Lenya, everything for Lenya, everything for this girl. I was trying to write a song in French, and I don't even speak French. Je ne parle pas français. So I worked with a guy from the Alliance Française, who was the French Language Institute. I gave him the English lyrics, and I said, can you translate this into French for me? And he did. And then I didn't know how to phrase it. How does that go? Je te toi. Here I am again. Terrible lyrics. In this smoky place with my brandy eyes. I'm talking to myself. You were the one, you were the one. Je recherche l'affection qu'un autre pourrait me donner. It was really difficult to phrase. I barely got through it. And I thought, we were starting to become popular in France because of the song Honesty. Honesty was a huge hit with the French. Don't ask me why. But it was. And I said, I'm going to try to speak French in this song. So we went to France on a tour, a little mini tour of France. We played the provinces. We played Lyon, Bordeaux, Saint-Étienne, Nice, and Paris. And I played the song in Paris, and I finished the song, and I'm expecting this avalanche of applause. And I get like, wah. And at the end of the show, I went over to the promoter, and I said, what happened with that song? You know, it's French, it's in French. He goes, no, the audience thought you were singing in Polish. They didn't understand my French. It was so bad, which has probably happened with every tourist who's ever gone to Paris and tried to order lunch. You know, the waiter goes, don't you hurt my ears, you know?